So we're looking at our paper and we've made our petals. We just want to make 2 more slices that are similar going towards that. And they don't have to be too deep, but I'm going to go ahead and turn my paper upside down here because that's how I like to hold it. I want to have my scissors going away from me, and I'm going to go in the same basic shape towards that fold. So I could do it this direction. And I'm just going to kind of do a similar cut, but I don't want to cut all the way through. So I'm going to stop out there. And then I'll do the same thing one more time. All right, that's pretty good. All right, but say that you don't like working in that direction. Either way is fine. You're just finding the point, okay? And you want to go ahead and cut from the point on down. So I can cut in this direction too instead, if you like to work this way. And I'm just going to copy that curve. But I'll stop pretty close, not too close, because if it's too close, it's going to be flimsy. I'm just going to make a little bit of curve and cut. Right? So I'll do the same thing on the purple ones here. The ones for the purple. So I'm finding my point, and I'm just going to cut another curving line, not too thin. Give it pretty good thickness. I don't want them to be too microscopic. So there we are. And then on the last one on purple, just looking for my point. Just making sure all my edges are folded down nicely there. All right, so on my point, this direction. So either way is fine. Just want to go from the point toward the fold and not cut it all the way. So pretty thick pieces. All right, so now we're all set. And I'm going to fold them the same way, except for one last one. So I'll go ahead and make these on the colored ones, and then I'm going to leave this last one so that I can show you how to do the one that is folded on both sides. This one is folded on one side, and then this one has it on both sides so that when you hang it up, you can see the folds on both sides. So this first one will be like this, where it can sit flat on the desk. So all we have to do is open it up carefully, try not to rip it. Okay, and you should be able to see where these 8 lines met in the middle. That's all we have to do with our paper. So I'm going to put a pretty decent amount of glue right there. When I look at this, I want the middle one. So I have this first piece, and I'll leave that alone, and I want to leave the edge piece alone. I want this middle piece. So when it lifts up, I'm just going to make that point fit right in there where my folds are. So let me show this a little closer to the camera. I need to put some glue on it anyway. Put some glue on that tip, and I just want it to fit there in the center where my folds are and push down. That's it. And then I want to do the same thing on the other sides. So put some glue on the end and make it fit in where that intersection is. My little tip hits those intersections. I'll glue in here, get it on the point. And it folds in. And one more. All right. So that is the basic design, and you could make this to do the hanging one. You're just going to make a copy of this and glue it on the back. And I'll show you how to line that up. I'll make sure you got pretty decent folds because that helps with lining it up. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'll put a pretty good amount of glue in the middle and fold my edges into the middle part, the points of the center part. So the middle snowflake piece goes into the middle of the paper. So each edge of your snowflake. There you go. Middle there. And a little bit. Oops, it doesn't want to stay. Okay, might need a little more glue. Put some glue on here. All right. So to finish it up, it's so easy. All we have to do is look for our fold lines on the back. Let me get rid of these out of the way so we can really see. All right. So we have two of these. Now, what's going to happen when we put them together on the back is we're going to have to press. So that's when things get smushed. But all I'm going to do is hold this one with the flower part on the outside and this one with the flower part on the outside and match the backs up. Now, when you match your backs up, you don't want to make it look identical. We want to make it so that it's got 8 points. Now, to do that, we're just going to shift them to where these points go in between the one that's on the bottom. That's all we have to do. And to make sure that it lines up correctly, you just want to make sure that your folds are even. Now, how do we do that? We're going to look at our points that we didn't fold down. So we want to make sure that it looks like it's about as far away and that it's lined up with that center. So we can go ahead and put some glue on the back of one of them. Let's put on both as a good stick. I'm doing the bottom one gently because I don't want to smush it too much. So I'm going to line those up and I'm looking at my fold and I'm just looking at my paper to see, does it look like it's lining up with that fold? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to look around at my snowflake and see are my points in the center where the other ones are. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, so all I have to do from here to make sure that it will hold together is to put some glue on the piece that's on the top to make sure it sticks on the bottom piece. I'm just going to put a little glue on those. A little glue on here and here, just so that the end points of the snowflake don't go flying off. If we only have a little bit of glue in the center, it's not going to be really sturdy enough to hang. So we want to put a little bit of extra glue on there. All right. Now, depending on how much you had to push to get your centers together, yeah, you're going to have a little bit of flat on the back. No big deal. We're just going to push on where the paper folded over so it'll bounce back up. Try not to push on the other one that's behind on the bottom now. So that when we hang it up for display, I would just tape a piece of string to this if you're going to hang it up to make sure that it doesn't rip the paper. But that way you can make sure that your pieces are up and sticking out so they look nice. Oh, still need some glue over here before I would hang it up. And I want to let my glue dry. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble my purple one. I'll do this same fold, and then I'll show you how to do it where you would have it where it's not going to get smashed because it's going to be set up to set on a wall or maybe another piece of paper. Or if you made a really small one, you could maybe put it on a card to somebody. I'll go ahead and put that one together